Welcome to Uncommon Courtesy.
We give you the courtesy of conversation
That's uncommonly spoke of.
I'm D-Mac.
I'm Wesley.
And this is the show. Don't forget to like, listen, subscribe. Thanks to everybody that watches the show. Yeah, man. So Joe Biden came out today, huh? Finally showed his face.
Yeah, he finally showed his face today, man. It was good to see old Joe. You know what I mean? You know me.
Yeah.
I got a sentimental place. I used to didn't really like Joe before. I'm going to be real with you. I really didn't used to like him before. Like before the 08 election, I didn't know a lot about him. But me watching him during that election cycle, I didn't like him because he said Barack wasn't ready to be president. At that time, he kind of said that about him. Then Barack chose him, and he kind of started growing on me a little bit more from there.
You know, it's crazy. It's like all these people had all these conspiracy things out about why he wasn't being seen and that he was on his deathbed and all this stuff. And I'm just like, you ain't even correct yourself. Like, I apologize. Let's update this stuff. It's like you can't even be trusted.
How can you trust a news source like that that's not willing to tell the truth?
Yeah.
He's on
or to
his
even
deathbed.
correct themselves to be like, okay, we were wrong here.
He's on his death. That's a big assertion to
They're
make.
saying he's been dead for a minute.
He's been dead for a minute.
He's been dead. That's why they're doing this coup. They're calling it a coup now.
I mean, really, what it boils down to is that the process that the Democrats took is a very unusual process, man, because what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to, have your primary.
Yeah, and the other Democrats are mad because they didn't have a chance to get that little shine in there.
During the primary?
Yeah.
I mean, in reality, this is the best method that could have been hacked. You would have just been, like you said, eat yourselves. You would have ate yourself for this, and there had been a lot of money spent that needed to be focused on time, needed to be focused on dealing with Donald Trump. And then basically you would have made Joe Biden the lame duck president during this entire fucking cycle leading up to
the election.
To the election.
Or to the transition of power.
And you're dealing with Israel, you're dealing with Ukraine, you're dealing with too much for him to have been a lame duck president during that time. I think they thought they could get him across the finish line. I feel like he thought he could get himself across the finish. Imagine being, you know how men are in general, or people in general, but I'll say a man because we're men.
Yeah.
We're very, very prideful, man. And I felt like he was like, I can do it. I know I can get it done. Because in his heart, he felt he could.
Yeah.
In his mind, he even felt he could. But in reality, it's just sometimes you just can't do it. It's like sometimes when you get up out of bed and you're like, I can make it. I know I can do it. And then something like, you got a tweak in your back and it's that bad.
Men are prideful. It's like you don't want to lose your independence. That's the whole thing.
And they're trying to make this into something where they can actually like bring up, I won't say charges, but where they can bring up something to say, oh, well, you guys knew that something has been wrong with him all this time. You've been hiding.
His cognitive decline. They want the FBI director to resign because he said they think he lied about his cognitive or Biden's cognitive mind and everything.
I think
or
that
abilities. Excuse me.
I think Biden. He could be president again for 4 more years. Do I think he'd make it all 4 years? I don't know about that one. I don't even know if his mind would make it all 4 years. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't know that. I can't say that. But do I think that he could do what he's done these last 3 years? Probably. Maybe not the physical rigors of going going on these different trips, meeting all these different foreign dignitaries. Those things might be out and off the table, and that's what our president needs to do.
But he's too old. He was too old in that debate. He was looking bad.
Really bad. Really, really bad. I mean, just to be honest, he looked really bad. It was time for him to go, and I feel like the best candidate we have right now is Kamala Harris. I don't see who else are we going to talk about. We're going to talk about Bernie Sanders. Nobody's going to vote for Bernie.
No one's going to. This is another old guy. He's like 83.
But Bernie is sharp as a tack.
For the most. That's what you say about old people. He's sharp as a tack.
But
you don't say that about kids. You'd be like, yo, he's smart. No, he's sharp as a tack.
You're right. He
puts his pants on, puts a zipper up.
Bernie has that stigma of being a socialist. I think he doesn't know how to dial it back. Nah. He doesn't know how to dial that back. He could dial it back just enough to win an election. He don't even know that right now we are we're looking like there's a lot of socialist fervor in the country right now. People are talking about, we need grocery prices are too high. Only way you're gonna get grocery prices down is if you make price controls. Price controls are socialist, and only way you can get rents under control, like have basically rent ceilings, is with socialist policies.
The whole thing
rent
too.
Controls.
People were attacking Joe Biden. They're like, yo, he's too old to run. He's too old to run. We're like, yo, he's like 2 years older than Trump. They'd be like, nobody's older than Trump. He's too old to run. And now Joe Biden's out of there, and Republicans is on this whole thing. He's too old to run.
Trump's the old guy now.
Yeah.
I'm saying, but they said today he had he actually addressed us, let us know, let us see his face, now that we can debunk the whole dead rumors.
Did you see Trump calling Harris a bitch on the golf course?
No, I didn't hear him say that.
Yeah, he was sitting there. They were interviewing him. He was sitting there. He's like, we'll beat her. She's horrible. He's like, fucking bitch.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You got the clip on
Yeah.
that?
I'll show everyone the clip.
Gave me so much. How did I do with the debate the other night?
Oh, amazing.
He kicked that old broken down pile of crap.
Yeah.
It's a bad guy. He just quit, He's quitting the rest. Is that right? Yep, I got him out of the race. And that means we have Kamala. I think she's going to be better. She's so bad. She's so pathetic. It's so amazing. It's just so fucking bad. So I just can't imagine. But can you imagine that guy with?
See, I told you. I ain't playing.
This guy is crazy. Hey,
ain't no pink Flacco around here, player.
Poetic Flacco.
Whatever.
That's his code name over there. But Biden says he wants to pass the torch to the younger generation.
As he should.
As he very much should.
Yeah,
I mean, this is
no more retirees.
And I feel like there's, like I said, like we've been saying, man.
Yeah.
There's really nobody else that he could have passed to. That was the best person he could have passed to. At the end of the day, during the last Democratic primary, she was basically third person. She was basically third in line. It was her, Bernie Sanders, and Joe Biden.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and she did. I don't think she won any states.
No.
But she ran a good race. She just didn't have it in her. I mean, we needed at that time. People were looking for a WASP, pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
but
feeling,
not
like,
a Protestant though. He's a Catholic.
As soon as they announced her, it's feeling like 08 again.
Yeah, it kind of does feel like 08 again a little bit, don't it?
You know what I'm
a
saying?
little bit.
Because,
Got that
before
feel.
it was all, everyone's inclusive. Then it was like a black lady might be president. Not this nigga again. I'm like, yes. I like when the racist people stand on business.
Hey, and then they had a big phone call with I think it was I want to say 40,000 black women came up and they raised over $1 million and something just by a phone call. Just they had a big group phone call together, talking in different Clubhouse and a bunch of different kind of settings. And then 50-something thousand black men came together and then got another $1 million that they raised just over within a couple of hours.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, amongst themselves, just raised the money. But this is it to me, it has that fervor, that just that feeling of, like you said, of 08, and just understanding that this country right now, we can move forward in such a great direction. We have our first woman president, which I think is important for this country. Like I said, I'm not a huge. Man, listen.
I'm with it. I mean, last time we had a chance to elect a woman president, you didn't. Women lost rights.
It's not even just that. I feel like, man, the reason why our country is in the position that we're in is because we've opened up the value of women in this country. It's not me saying this as being like a feminist. I'm not. I'm a man. I'm a man's man. I act like a man. I do everything like that's what I do. But just to be real, but I feel like as a business person, I understand what a woman brings to the table. I've worked with a lot of women. I'd rather work with women because they work harder to me.
Yeah,
you know what
too.
I mean? They're smart.
Me too. Yeah.
And they're smart too at the same time. Men are very smart too. Men work hard.
Your
Don't get me
husband
wrong.
did what? Oh, come here, girl. Let's eat half my sandwich.
I'm being honest. I'm being real about this. Though. And at the
too.
same time, though, I feel like I said this during the last election when she had when she did her when they had a debate against Mike Pence. I told her, I said it online. I said, man, she killed Mike Pence because of the way that she is. Her mentality is just different. Yeah. You can tell that she has a mean streak in her, and you got to have that. I hope she doesn't ever cry during not during this election cycle like Hillary did. Remember when Hillary cried? She cried, man. It was just. It wasn't good for her to do that.
That's like homeboy that he's about to be president. And he was like, yeah.
Who was that? That was Dean. What was his name? Something Dean.
Oh yeah, and then that's when the Inquirer came out and they found out he had a hidden child or something.
No, that wasn't him. You're talking about John Kerry.
Okay, great.
That was something Dean. I forget his name.
It was the
wasn't
Dean
the same
dude.
person.
John Kerry he was in Obama's administration.
No, not John Kerry. What was his name?
It was Dean.
No, it wasn't Dean. It was we're talking about Edwards, John Edwards.
Okay.
John Edwards had the woman pregnant on the side when his wife had cancer and stuff. That was John Edwards. And then Howard Dean. Howard Dean was the one who came out and was like, yeah, he made that noise. Everybody's like, but now they're trying to say that what's his name? Tim Scott now has taken that over because he went and he got growled or something at the camera during the Republic. You see that? What he did? They was like, so he did. I don't know what the hell.
Tim Scott makes me nervous, bro. Yeah. Like it's something about his face and his teeth just make me look at him like, nah, bro, something ain't right with you. And his head is shaped funny. It's like it's like he has an afro, but he covers it with like one of those masks you put on your head to cover your hair when you're trying to be bald in the movie.
It's just crazy to me, man, that there's just so many of these bootlickers around us, man. Like there's just like black people who look like us. It's crazy because the person
Well, they
said
call us the same thing. They be like, I mean, I'm an independent. It may say Democrat on my thing, but I don't know how to change it.
I'm a liberal.
I'm an American first. I'm like
a liberal Democrat.
Liberal Demic. I like that.
I'm a progressive. You know what I'm saying? More than I am a liberal, I'm a progressive. I won't call myself a liberal because I don't believe in the full agenda. I would hate if Gavin Newsom is the vice president. That would be the most hold your nose thing you could possibly ever do to me, because I would never vote for Gavin Newsom ever in my life because I don't like him. I do not. I just can't. You know what I mean? It'd be hard for me to advocate for him. I know people will bring this back up later if I had to come back and advocate for Gavin Newsom, but I don't agree with nothing. I don't agree with him at all. I mean, I love California. California is doing great in a number of things, but there's huge areas where I have a disagreement with him.
Yeah.
But other than that,
that's kind of like the Republicans getting Greg Abbott as a vice president.
No, Greg Abbott's been doing his thing for them. What was he
in Texas?
Man, Texas, he's clogging up the border for him whenever he wants to. They got all kind of abortion laws.
He's supposed to be clogging up the border. He gets medical care that he took away from the people in the state that need it. But the same medical care that he gets is what they're supposed to get, and he got rid of that.
But for the Republican Party, he's a gold standard.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about for the people of his state. I don't agree with him at all. I think that they should have been ran him out.
Well, for Democrats, Gavin Newsom's the man.
That's for like very, very, very liberal Democrats. That's your. I don't even want to say AOC because I don't even know if she would be doing that.
I want AOC to be the vice president.
They're not ready for that yet.
I'm ready for it.
I think we got to give AOC about 4 to 8 more years.
I would love to interview AOC.
I think the country
over a
would be
plate
ready
of a
for her.
microwave dinner, some battery-powered candles.
I think the country would be more ready for her in like 4 to 8 more years. I think we're going to be ready for socialism.
Once she gets mad and starts speaking Spanish, it's over for her.
Well, hey, once we hit that 4 to 8 year mark, we're gonna have a quasi socialist president. Watch, I guarantee it.
I got this article kind of go with it. Kamala Harris narrows down VP shortlist of 2 candidates, and they emerge as the front runners. So it says Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro and Arizona Senator Mark Kelly have emerged as front runners for presumptive Democratic nominee Kamala Harris' choice of vice president. Both men are from key battleground states in the 2024 presidential race and have a history of defeating candidates endorsed by Donald Trump at the ballot boxes. A source close to the campaign, newly rebranded as Harris for President, told ABC News that the vetting of the potential running mates has begun. Other candidates being considered, as well as Shapiro and Kelly, are Roy Cooper from North Carolina and Andy Bishar of Kentucky. Mm-hmm. No Kentucky.
I think that's where.
I mean, you'd want to win Kentucky, but
you're not going to win Kentucky. Kentucky's a red state. You're not winning that state no matter what. What it would give you is a little bit more of a inroad into the Rust Belt kind of areas around there because what we're really looking at is Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Then you got to also look at, I mean, possibly Georgia, but I don't know if Georgia's on the playing field for us right now. Maybe with the woman being president, you could pull that out because we do have 2 Democratic senators from the state of Georgia, which is huge. I mean, one of them's a black man too at that. You know what I mean? He had to win 2 elections since he won. I think both him and his counterpart, which is Osloff or something like that.
We're in Georgia.
Yes.
When they had the football player against them.
Mm-hmm. But he beat him. That was the second time he beat him, though. That wasn't. It wasn't the second.
Walker.
It was Herschel Walker, but that was his second because he had to run twice. He had to run once in during the 2020 election, I believe. Then he had to run again, maybe a year or 2 later. He had to run again. Yeah. Because he was filling in for someone's seat who had moved on for
it was
some
like a
other
special
reason.
election.
Special election. And so he only had a year and a half left on. He had to win 2 elections. That's big though to win 2 elections in the state of Georgia. One during the presidential year and then another one not during the presidential year. That's the huge part. That's where it gives me that's where there's green sprouts of hope that Georgia is basically Georgia's purple.
Now you can't have a black president and a black female president and a black male vice president. America ain't going for that.
No. I'm not saying to bring him. I'm talking about just winning the state of Georgia.
Yeah.
You leave Warnock where he is. You got 2 senators.
What about Elizabeth Warren? I like Elizabeth Warren.
She's too liberal, man. They're not gonna. It'll be hard. And she's not bringing you anything to the table. I like Elizabeth Warren too, but she's a better policymaker than she will make as a person to run with you. She needs a man during this election cycle.
Yes,
I mean, if anybody, you got Gretchen Whitmer. She's I think she's the governor of Michigan. Which will give her a little bit of room. That's a little leeway right there. Then you're for sure getting Michigan. You could possibly even pull but it's a woman card. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if we can pull that
Yeah,
off.
that ain't that
I
happening.
mean, they had the guy we were saying, Kelly from Arizona.
Yeah.
Makes me a little bit nervous to grab him out of Arizona because I think we only have one senator in Arizona, which is him. I think we got the governor over there as well too, so she can appoint another senator to fill in for him. But you know that's the one whose wife got shot. Her name,
I remember
Gabby
that.
Giffords or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
the guy,
Something like
the Nazi dude, basically
shot her in the head.
at the Target.
She's still beautiful. Not to take anything from her, but man, he
mass shooting, just shot people. He was mad about the politics. I mean,
he came to
kill. Yeah, right wing extreme violence.
Yep, and shot her in the head, man. And like she survived, but man, she's never been the same. She can't like look. It's just crazy. But I'm like, I felt bad about that. But he's an astronaut. I don't know about him how he connects. I mean, maybe he can get you. Maybe he gets you Arizona and Nevada, but you can already win Arizona and Nevada. You can win those states without if you get the right. She needs to get herself a young WASP, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. That's basically what it is. I mean, you got to almost. It's what you got to do, man. You got to. That's 60% of the country.
Yeah,
50 something at least. 50 something percent of the country is this is what this is. I'm not saying that whole 50 something percent is just male. But it gives them that sense of comfortability.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like someone else said that to me today. They were like, as a good friend of mine, he said, basically like, why did Obama choose Biden? And then why did Biden choose Harris? I said, first of all, it's because, he felt like, he's seen Biden. He saw a good statesman with Biden. He had good relationships with all the other senators from across the aisle, both sides of the aisle. He's been in Senate for a long time. That's a good partner to have, people with good relationships already. And on top of that, I felt like he saw that this person looks like America.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? That they can feel comfortable. It's like when John F. Kennedy chose Lyndon B. Johnson. He was an older white male from Texas. He was a Southern person. He already had that. He gave them that sense of, if anything happens, we've got this guy over here who at least speak some sense into this guy. And they killed him. And they got what they wanted anyways out of that. But so
I mean, that's we're gonna keep an eye on that and keep everyone updated on it. But I want to talk about Lauren Boebert.
Lauren Boebert, huh?
You know what I'm saying? Just she pushes to slash salary of troll government worker who criticized her. So Rep. Lauren Boebert, Colorado, introduced legislation that singles out a senior federal official for retribution. The Colorado Republican introduced an amendment to a funding bill that would cut the salary of Melissa Schwartz. She works as the Director of Communications in the Office of the Secretary of Interior, Deb Haaland, to $1 punishment for criticizing her.
Wow.
She says, Melissa Schwartz is another horrendous and miserable use of taxpayer dollars, Boebert said on the House floor. She is a mask-wearing, quadruple-vaxxed, Green New Deal extremist and, unfortunately, a liberal troll who has harassed me, even in committee hearing rooms. She shouldn't be employed by the Department of Interior. Melissa Schwartz belongs under a bridge. Melissa has the nerve and lack of respect to confront me in the halls of Congress following a Department of Interior meeting, the lawmaker added. In this hearing, she had the audacity to come and personally attack a member of Congress. Oh, she came up to her.
But you know what, though? The crazy part about it is that I think that Boebert, I think she's out of Colorado, right?
Yeah.
Boebert had to change her district to another district to run because she was getting, I think she either got primaried or something happened in another district she wasn't going to win. So she went to a super red district just so she could win and stay in Congress. Let's be real here. This is what happened with you. So you really don't have anything to say to anybody. You had to run to a district where they're going to for sure put you in because you have to leave your district because you couldn't even win it. So, I mean,
the whole thing is like, how petty are you? Like, there's real stuff that affects all Americans. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to write this one thing for this one person that's criticizing me. Like, you go out of your way to criticize people every day.
All the time.
All the time. All the time. And it happens to you, and now you crying like a little bitch. I'm not calling you one. I'm just saying that's how we talk. You know, now, I want to take her salary and this. No, you're supposed to be able, if you can dish it out, you can take it.
You got to be able to take it.
You should read our comments. Ain't nobody like us. I love it.
I mean that
just shows how soft they are.
I mean, and these people are the same people who call people snowflakes.
Yeah.
The same exact people who are like, oh, you're a snowflake, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? All this other crazy stuff that you hear. But then as soon as I'm watching the same people, as soon as people said something about Trump getting shot, he wasn't dead. He didn't say nothing. He didn't die. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
people start making fun of it. They start going to people's jobs, trying to get them fired. I'm watching people online who find this lady right here. So don't say nothing when we do it to y'all. Don't say nothing. I'm not going to say nothing when you do it because, okay.
Yeah,
all's
whatever.
fair.
Yeah, I got snaps back too, even though
All's
she's kind of
fair.
cute, but
the fact
she's a DEI hire.
Yeah, man, that's crazy, man. That's
what she
they're
is.
using.
Think about it. Hey, we can get into that too and add it
get
to
into it.
Yeah,
Let's
she's
get
a
into it.
DEI hire. Let's keep it 100. Because, I mean, in the Republican Party, Project 2025 is actually going to take away your rights anyways. They've already taken away the rights to produce or the rights to an abortion.
Yep.
So you think it's going to be like Gilead. You ever seen The Handmaid's Tale?
I mean, I think. Yeah.
In The Handmaid's Tale, this group Gilead takes over a country. They had a civil war. Gilead takes over, right? And they're like right-wing extremists. Like women have no rights. You're either a wife or a handmaid. That's all you can be.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking
And so, like the wife of like one of the he's not. They call it a commander or whatever. She wanted to speak in front of all the men or whatever, and they're like, nah. And she's like, they have to hear what I have to say. And she walks away, and they're like, don't worry, she's gonna learn her place. You know, and that's your Project 2025. You're only there to appease the female voters. They don't care about you. They wouldn't want you in the Republican Party. They'd rather just have all white men and you over there bringing them plates of food.
That's why they've never run. I mean, they have one time. I'm going to say they have one time. Sarah Palin. They actually did run.
Because they tried to counteract. They're like a black president.
I mean, and that just, I mean, and the fact of the matter is that you said that is very much true because, I mean, at the same time, they had their Republican National, basically their committee, the RNC, chairman was Michael Steele, a black dude. Yeah. After Obama ran and won, they tried to
put Michael Steele in there because they're like, we about to do y'all dirty and we got to make him. I mean,
let's talk about DEI is only needed because for centuries you guys have been basically practicing nepotism. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, basically just passing on jobs to people who didn't even deserve them. That's the biggest form of, I wouldn't say DEI. It's just inclusion, whatever you want to call it. You guys have been giving jobs to yourselves. If people pay attention. If you work somewhere and at the same time you're only hiring the people that you know and you're keeping it within your family, you guys are the only ones who will ever be able to show that you can do that job. A resume doesn't show you can do a job. Yeah. That's not the facts. Like, let's give it to the best person who best qualified. What does that even mean? We don't know. I mean, we got police officers who are killing people who've been on the force for 20 years.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, things happen.
Actually, I worked at a job federal jobs do that. They have to hire so many minorities to get federal funding.
And they should, because for years you didn't. When you haven't for hundreds of years and you've allowed something to pass along for hundreds of years a certain kind of way, the fact of the matter that we even have to do this should tell you more about this country and what's been going on here for a long time than anything else. That DEI stuff, I'm not even listening to that. What they're really trying to do is
like they just want to call you the N-word.
Yeah, what they're really trying to make you're a DEI hire. The reason they want to say that to you is because but they're really angry, man. Because if you really look at where we've come from in this country, from nothing, none of y'all had to do that. You guys were given stuff. You guys had opportunities that we couldn't even see. So let's be real. Let's be honest
what's her name?
about
Marjorie Taylor Greene was calling the Secret Service director a DEI hire. Like that lady didn't work all her way up to get there. Like she was just.
It's just at the end of the day, man. It's the
like
way.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is a DEI hire.
She's like,
what do you even do?
She doesn't even have any. Her education level is just crap. She doesn't even have I don't think she even has a degree. And I'm not saying I got a degree, but she's in the Congress. And she talks about everyone else you're not that smart. Talking about a lady who's in Congress, Jasmine Crockett, who has her doctorates, all kinds of different stuff. I mean, who's a lawyer, who's done, you know what I mean, done way more in life than what she has. I mean, it's
Marjorie Taylor Greene looks like she used to crush beer cans for her boyfriend on her forehead.
Stupid, bro. But I'm just being real, man. That whole DEI thing, it's like they want that to be the new what gets us angry. I don't care. And people that's also they're trying to use. I think Clarence Thomas like, I don't want people to think I'm a DEI. I don't give a who thinks that. I don't care who thinks what, because reality of it is you wouldn't need any of that stuff here as this country wasn't a racist country. You wouldn't have never needed that. If we haven't, we have a long lineage of racism and exclusion from this country. So you need inclusiveness. I mean, if you look at it, the city of Atlanta the city of Atlanta has a bigger like GDP than the 4 states that surround Atlanta, pretty much. Except for Florida, if you take like the 4 closest states to like Mississippi, I think who you got, Alabama.
Mississippi has the highest population of black people, I believe.
You got Tennessee. You could probably even take South Carolina. I think Atlanta has a higher GDP like than all those states. The city of Atlanta. the most diverse city that you're going to catch around here. So understanding what that does when you do include people, including women, inside of things. And you guys were doing a decent job, but you couldn't. But you could have did better. And we're showing you how great America is.
I'm surprised Republican women are coming out and calling people DEI. Like, all of you are DEI hires. Think about it. They don't want you there.
I mean, and the men who were working there, you guys pretty much could have been. I mean, you guys had so many Gomer Powell type people who didn't deserve the positions they were in for years and years and years, and were just given to you because you just walked in and you were a WASP. That's why you got it. You know what I mean? Let's be real here. So this other black man who deserved it, or this other brown man who deserved it, or this other woman who deserved it more than you got it because of your skin tone.
And I've learned a long thing, especially out here. If I go to a place and it says now hiring, and they got black people on the posters, but ain't nothing working there, I don't want to work there or shop there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a serious thing. You got people like Fox News, man, damn near calling
Yeah, they had, what's his name, Brian Kilmeade. He was he on the news talking. He's so upset she's gonna go address a colored sorority.
Yeah, man, that's it. They tried to say that he said something else, but it sure sounded like colored to everybody else.
Yeah,
because he's talking about a black sorority. I mean, he's talking. You know, this is a school that I think it's at Howard University. Maybe I'm not sure which college.
She's a Kappa. I'm
not sure what college she went to. It was Kamala Harris was going to basically talk to her, to her sorority at the college. She had already made this appointment to go do this, and then all of a sudden they give Benjamin Netanyahu a speech with the joint sessions of Congress. And so they wanted everyone, Mike Johnson's like riding her for it. Oh, she's going to do this before she does this. I mean, well, Benjamin Netanyahu needs to be disrespected in this country. He does. He's shown nothing but disregard and disrespect for America. We've done nothing but support you, fund you. We give you billions of dollars every single year. And you're going to tell us what you're going to do? I mean, I'm very happy that we're going to have a new president in there. I hope that it's Kamala Harris, and I hope they treat him like he deserves to be treated. Yeah. Period.
He did come into the. He was today speaking in front of Congress, I believe, right?
Yeah, I'm okay. Has Netanyahu finally lost America? Today, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was back in a very familiar building. Not only was he making his fourth address to a joint session of Congress, breaking Winston Churchill's record for foreign leaders, he's also been a presence in the building's halls since serving as a diplomat in the early 1980s. Since he made his first speech to Congress in 1996, Netanyahu has been almost as much of a fixture in politics in America as in Israel. Things felt different today. It's not just that Netanyahu is a controversial figure, one who drew thousands of protesters onto the streets of Washington. That's not new. Netanyahu's 2011 speech to Congress was interrupted by a pro-Palestinian protester in the chamber. What is new is that he's becoming an increasingly marginalized one. I mean, so it's because you got people like the president didn't go. Well, he had COVID. We'll give him that. But the vice president, who is now basically the presumptive Democratic nominee, she also didn't attend this. And a lot of members of the Senate, Bernie Sanders didn't go. A lot of other, I think, I want to say our Patty Murray. I don't think she went either. I think a bunch of members.
A lot of people didn't go. They had the streets blocked off. They pulling the fire alarms at this hotel so he couldn't get no sleep. They put maggots on the table at his Watergate hotel. Man, they were like.
They were on them, and they were protesting inside the halls of Congress. Like 400 something people came inside the building. They had signs and everything. I'm very, very happy that we're showing this in America. We need to. And a lot of the 400 who went inside the building, those were all Israelis. There was thousands of Israelis outside protesting. They're tired of their name being drugged through them. They understand what this person is doing. They know what this is. This isn't a war. This hasn't been a war since day one. This was people who have been abused for years by you. You've been killing way more of them than they've ever killed of you. They're saying right now that you've killed over 39,100. This is what they know of. They haven't even dug through all the rubble.
And he said only 2 people died. So the protesters, they dyed the fountains around the Capitol with red color dye. Yeah. So it looked like blood. And then AOC came out and said this, and I'm going to let you finish my man. She said, it's a dark day in U.S. history when an authoritarian with warrant requests from the International Criminal Court is allowed to address a joint session of Congress. 40,000 Palestinians are dead. Hostages aren't home. Netanyahu is a war criminal.
Yep.
Yeah. And she said she'll be boycotting the address
Bernie called him a war criminal too, man. I mean, that's great that we're saying this out loud. And Bernie's a Jew.
Yeah.
He's calling him a war criminal. I think a lot of them are
He is a war criminal. A
out.
lot of people that took over wherever he was supposed to speak, they were all Jewish. They're like, nah, bro, you making us look bad. Like we trying to be low key and run things, and you bringing all the
blowing
dark
the spot up,
secrets
man, with the way you're acting. Now you're trying to you're basically trying to hold. I think you're trying to hold on to power because you don't want to be convicted of something. You're going to have to just stay in Israel, and I think that you think some of your adversaries within the Jewish government might turn you in. Who knows? Because you can't go. There's a lot of places you can't go no more.
Yeah.
Who do recognize the ICJ. They're not going to put up with you, and I'm happy to see that happen. I'm really that made me feel a lot better. That made me feel a lot
bad
better.
too. America, you letting a criminal run for president, and you letting criminals come in and speak to Congress. I mean, if the rich people can break laws, I got $10 in my pocket. To a homeless dude, I'm rich. So,
man, it's like I say, man, it's just really. It's really crazy that we've let it get this far, but I feel like they've taken advantage of the fact that we're in an election year. This is what I said to one of my friends. He's like, he's very, very, he was a Democrat, but he's like, fuck the Democrats right now. He's pissed. He's not going to vote. He's not voting for, I'm not voting for Biden. He did this. I'm like, man, we don't have that convenience as being black people. I don't have the convenience,
we don't have that
to
convenience
sit back
to
and
we
be
gotta
like,
vote
I
for
can't
somebody.
do this, because at the end of the day, this isn't to knock you or say anything negative to you. This is just kind of tell you what my standpoint on is. But at the end of the day, we're going to be affected the most when things go bad. We're the first ones that are going to be affected. You already know they hate us the most. They'll let you blend back into society. Not saying that you would, because I know that you have a good, you got a good heart. You're a good person. But it is what it is. I'm sure in Germany, when the people they wanted to help the Nazis. I mean, not the Nazis, but I'm sorry, the Jewish people. They wanted to help them. Some of the Germans did, but they knew at the end of the day, I got to just step back. I can't be involved with this.
I got to live here.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's stuff that we have. I have to figure out the lesser of the two evils. We've been doing this my whole life, so it's not anything new for us. We've been getting having genocides occurring on us all the time. We've been having this going on for a very long time.
True.
And
we
so
just watched a lady get lynched in her house.
Didn't we?
You know what I'm saying?
And it's just like,
and she called for help. They're like, yeah, we're gonna help you. You're gonna get to meet that Jesus you was just talking about.
That dude is crazy, man. That was a
well, he'd been to 6 different police state or it's just the words. He's been on different 6 different police squads or whatever.
Yep, exactly, 6 different police stations. He worked for 6 different police forces.
That's the word I'm looking for.
It doesn't. Yeah, he got.
And
it
was like quit, left. Like he wasn't like honorably let go. He did something. You could read on the way he left. He did something where he was just like, I'm going to resign.
And some of them may have been like he's going to a better job or whatever the case may be. I was kind of trying to look at the numbers and the dates and stuff and kind of see how closely they lined up. Like he went to a different job immediately on most of them. So it could have been him looking for better employment. Could have been. Like, okay, this place will get me closer to where I'm trying to go to get back to over here or whatever. Or it could have just been you're a fuck up.
He's a fuck up. That's what it sounds like. He was messing up and he was like, hey, man, I got to get out of here. Can I come work for you guys? And they're like, yeah, come on over.
I got this background. I was in the military. I did this. I'm XYZ, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? And so, I like I say, but the biggest thing is, man, right now is that's damn near, why don't we call him a DEI hire? That's what he basically is. If you look at him, he's a equity and inclusion hire pretty much.
We just got to own the word and be like, nah, bro, you get this DEI hire away from me.
And the fact of the matter is, I'm not even going to.
That's why you work the door at Walmart, fool.
Hey, listen, I'm not going to even I'm not showing out any respect that word, because that's what they're trying to have it harm us, have to fight over something new.
It don't bother me.
It don't bother me either. I don't care, because I know at the end of the day, this is what was supposed to happen here. And if y'all don't do it, you're going to lose your country anyways, because you're already going to lose it no matter what. It's done deal. So you better figure out how to diversify and include everyone else in what's going on, or else you're going to lose it to just anybody who comes along. You better hope you lose it to us.
And people think like a civil war is going to like win you the country back. Let me tell everybody what's going to happen if a civil war breaks out in America. No other country is going to sit back and be like, we're going to wait for them to finish doing what they're doing and then see. No, they're going to attack us, and then we won't be unified to fight back, and then America won't even be America no more.
Are they going to attack are they going to let us fight it out, and then they're going to, because what happened with you look at Britain, what happened with those guys when during World War II, they owned huge portions of the world at that point in time. But after they got beat up, they had the Blitzkrieg happen from Germany, and they basically had to call on us for help. They had to start getting rid of their colonies. They had to start divesting themselves, because they couldn't keep them. They had lost so many troops already fighting in war. They couldn't keep all these. They couldn't be so diversified abroad. And that's what would happen to us. We would start losing our territories, and then you start slowly but surely losing your power. You look at Great Britain, where they're at right now. They don't even hold the same respect as they used to.
No, the only people that kiss their butt is America. Because why I got to watch the royal wedding on TV?
You feel me? I want to talk about another thing here. How would mass deportation of migrants under Trump actually work? Two former officials who handle immigration issues for then President Donald Trump says that a whole of government approach costing billions would be needed to mount the largest deportation effort in American history, promised in the Republican convention platform if Trump is reelected. The exact number of people who would be deported in a second Trump administration is hard to pin down. During the June 29th presidential debate, Trump claimed there were more than 18 million undocumented immigrants in the U.S. One of the two former Trump officials said it would cost as high as 30 million. The most recent government estimates is that just under 11 million unauthorized immigrants reside in the U.S. as of January 1st, 2022, up from 500,000 from 2 years earlier, but down from 2010 total of 11.6 million. So basically what they're saying is how much is it going to cost?
30 million?
Yeah, right.
That ain't bad.
You think it's going to cost 30 million to get rid of what they say it was over 11? He said it's 18 million. They're saying it's about 11 million people here. It's probably like now they're saying this is 2022 numbers.
Think of
We've
the
been saying there's been
manpower.
people.
The manpower
That's going to be needed, man.
You're gonna make a department to get more. It's gonna be an ICE, but it's gonna be a bigger department to get rid of all these people.
They're going to have to hire tens of thousands to find millions of people.
They will. They're going to hire all the MAGA people from the Project 2025. So think about it. After they get done, let's say they deport all the illegal immigrants, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think these people are going to lose their job, or are they going to start rounding up Trump's enemies or people they don't like?
This is what they're going to do. He's going to give them immunity. So now they're going to be able to pull anybody over and say, "Show me your green card. Show me that you're." It could be black people. They don't care.
They don't care.
They don't care. They're not going to pull over any white people. That's who's not going to get pulled over. This is going to be a mass, basically stop and frisk. For
every minority.
And they're going to make it legal.
Everyone that's brown, black, women.
You can add, like in Georgia, they got a law already. You can ask people to show them your documentation.
Yeah, they've already started.
You know what I mean? Like I think they're trying to get one. What was that? Idaho or Iowa too?
I think I reported on the Mexico or the one in Georgia. Yeah,
you did. We talked about this already. You know what I mean? And so this is what's going to happen. They're going to pull over cars, and this is what they're going to pull you over for now. This is the new marijuana now. This no longer they can't ask about marijuana anymore. So they're going to ask you for your paperwork, and they're going to make you feel good about it. It's like, yeah, we're just looking out for you guys, trying to get these people out of the country. But in reality, they're able to pull you over and discriminate against you, profile you now. They're going to profile people up. This is America, man. That's like against everything that we stand for as a country, is to let people be profiled in this country and be harassed.
And the only people that are going to be okay with it are the ones that aren't going to be profiled and harassed.
You know who that is. We all know who that is. It's a messed up thing because it feels like we're always like harping on the differences between black and white, but America needs to harp on that enough to where it's no longer a thing.
We ain't harping on nothing. Hold on. Someone can say that in the comments. Then Kamala Harris got the presidential nominee. Oh, they out today. You can't ignore none of that racist stuff. They
absolutely,
on there
man.
crazy.
I just saw many people call her DEI hires. I saw this. Not to get off point. We're gonna have to go right back to it. I saw this guy. He's a U.S. House member. He's like, she's a DEI hire for sure. I'm looking at him like, bro, you just ran for the U.S. House. She's been a attorney. She's also been a attorney general. She's also been a senator of this great state of one of the biggest economies in the entire world, which is California. I think California would be like top 5 economies in the world if it would separate from America right now. Now, I mean, and on top of that, she's been vice president of the United States of America. Your little measly U.S. House seat is nothing in comparison to what she's got going on.
But that's the whole thing. It's like, if you can make the poorest one, what they say, you make the poorest white dude think he's better than the richest black dude.
Yep,
he has
something.
Johnson. It's a jealousy thing, though. But I mean, like, there's other laws. I want to add something onto that too. You're talking about the immigrants, and then it's kind of like with the Hunter Biden case, but it's the same thing. It's Bootsy Badass. Mm-hmm. He said, "I'm on vacation with my family, and my lawyer calls me saying the federal prosecutor wants to indict him again for the same charge and add a charge that." He was on a drug attack around the time he had the firearm.
So the same thing they kind of did with
same thing they did with Hunter Biden.
Yeah.
And we talked about this before, where they said, "Hey, you said that." You're like, "Look, they're going to just start saying, hey, you bought that gun, or you had that gun when you were on drugs."
You were on drugs.
They already he already beat this case, and so they're retrying him again and adding that on there.
Because now that's a new rule. They're going to be starting to add on. I mean, they're only going to add it on for people who they want to add it on for. Yeah. And it's not going to be a majority of America. Let's just be real here. This is why we talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion, because we need to be a part of these rooms where this shit can't happen. We haven't been a part of these rooms. That's why this kind of shit happens. That's why you had people like Herbert Hoover and who ran different who ran the FBI and basically made sure there weren't any blacks in the FBI for a very, very long time and ran things against black people because there was no black people in the room to say something about it, to bring it back to us.
Yeah.
We got to have that. That's why we don't look. I look at Trump the way I do, because in his first cabinet, he showed you who he wanted around him. And he got rid of multiple people, but he still didn't bring in anybody black.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was just Ben Carson back there looking confused.
And he had Omarosa or somebody, I think, working for him at one time.
She was on his TV show. Where's she at now, though?
I'm not knocking Omarosa. I'm just saying this is who he chose. He didn't go get the best and the brightest. He didn't even try to. You know what I mean?
He really didn't get the best of the brightest anyways. Like,
it's just, I mean, to me, man, like I said, that with that whole thing with Boosie, man, that right there is exactly how this is going to start playing out for a lot of people. They're going to start they're going to be able to dig in and say this about anything. This is why now that you have like marijuana, where laws where they can go and they keep your phone number. They can go find out how much weed, and weed's legal. But now you're under the throes of drug addiction.
But I need my discounts. But they should do it for alcohol too. I remember, like I told you, I said that before. They did it to a man. They did it to a man at Safeway. Because he slipped on the floor was wet. They had no sign. He slipped and fell. Mm-hmm. He sued Safeway, and they figured out that from him using his phone number on there that he had bought alcohol before. So they said they claimed he was drunk, and he lost the lawsuit.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was years ago too.
We got to kind of, it's just like, man, these two subjects are just crazy because, I mean, like we said, with the deportation deal, and I know we're mixing them up a little bit, but I think we need to really take that serious, man.
Yeah, no, because I always say this, man. Look, once they get done deporting all the illegals, they're going to keep that agency's not going away. No, they're just going to repurpose it. Now they're going to harass us.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's exactly what they. I mean, they have already showed you that with just when they started slave catchers, yeah. And they transformed them into the police. You know, that's where the police force came from, was from here, transforming these. What do you think they're going to do with all these extra people who are on their roles, government roles now? That's an army for him.
Yeah.
And he can pretty much hire all of his own people who are loyalists. He already talked about he's going to get rid of a whole bunch of different people and hire loyalists.
40,000 people in the federal government will be fired. Think about it. The FBI, the ATF, who else do they got? That's alcohol in the back. The game, all of them.
DEA,
yeah, all of them. Think about it. Who are they already going after? Who are they going to go after? You black folks think they can just sit this out like, oh, I ain't going to worry about it. Nah, bro. You're cooked. You're cooked. You got MAGA extremists that don't even like you. Now they got jobs with badges and immunity.
I mean, he's trying to get rid of the. He just got the Secret Service. The lady in Secret Service.
Oh, she had to go.
She lost her job.
She had to go.
Wrong. I agree.
She had to go.
I mean, with that kind of
not even DEI hired. No, just that kind of lapse of security.
I'm gonna say this right here. I think they set her up. I don't think it had anything to do with her. This was inside the ranks. This was probably. She was probably. I don't know. I won't say it's a huge conspiracy, but they just didn't do their fucking jobs on the ground, and she had to basically take the bullet for that.
Maybe that makes sense now. Maybe because Trump was doing the Project 2025, and all those agency people looked like, hey, we're all about to lose our jobs. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Be like, no, maybe he needs to lose his job.
I mean,
because it's a conspiracy. That's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy I just created now.
She definitely needed to lose her damn job.
Yeah,
man.
she had to.
I knew that when she first tried to make up. There was no excuse for that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't had an attempt on a president. I don't even know since how far. And he's trying to talk about this.
They've never gotten that close.
Yeah, I mean, but what I'm saying though is like,
you remember the black lady drove all the way from Philly with a diaper on? And she crashed into the White House barrier trying to kill Obama.
That's different. You know, I know what you mean, though.
No, that's dedication.
A person getting a shot off at the president. I mean, you thinking that's not even going to happen?
It's not even supposed to happen.
With all the kind of stuff we have
she
now,
had to
like
go.
You know what I mean?
I don't care what nobody felt, but she should have got grilled and resigned.
It didn't matter if it was a man, woman, or child. You know what I'm saying? They had to get the hell up out of there. I was surprised that she didn't just resign immediately.
Yeah,
you should have fell on your sword immediately. That's your fault.
That's your fault.
Like,
you're the head of the.
It's crazy.
You're the head of the Secret Service, and you let something happen to the former president. No matter who he is.
No matter who he is. Even if we all don't like him.
Even if we don't like him.
We don't like him. But at the same time, you can't let nothing happen to the president. That reflects on us as a nation. That reflects on who we are, how strong we are, and how, you know, and where the holes are in our defense. You can never. I don't want the rest of the world to see cracks in our armor. and Joe Biden, he was a crack in the armor at the end of the day. He was just too old, but he did his best. I like the fact that he made it this far, but letting an open shot, he should have been dead. Truth of the matter is, Trump should have been dead. If this was a bullet and everything else was what it was supposed to be, he should have been dead, man. There's just no other way around that. It's not saying me, I wish him to be dead. I don't. I never have. That ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm just saying, man, for that person to get that type of a shot, this dude said, but anyway, Monday was the world's hottest day ever recorded, breaking Sunday's short-lived record. Jesus. Sunday's record as the hottest day ever recorded on Earth lasted only 1 day. According to preliminary data from the European Union's Copernicus Climate Change Service, the global average temperature reached 17.5 degrees Celsius or 62.87 degrees Fahrenheit on Monday, toppling the prior records of 17.09 degrees Celsius, which was probably about like 62 and some change Fahrenheit. In other words, the planet had its two warmest days back-to-back this week. Higher than normal winter temperatures in Antarctica helped push the globe to new highs, according to Copernicus.
I mean, global warming is happening. I mean, even to add to that, millions of acres of national forest land across Oregon and Washington are continuing to see record-breaking dry timber conditions on both sides of the Cascade. We have wildfires on the north of the Washington State Cascades, 30,000 acres. We had one pop up yesterday. Black Canyon wildfire erupts overnight, reaches 6,500 acres in size. And see, all the people that are denying climate change, the crazy thing is, like, you live in these states like California, Texas, Florida, Illinois, and your insurance is skyrocketing. Even California, they're not writing you insurance anymore. Florida, they're quadruple charging you for your insurance because we're living in natural disaster zones now. You are. And like Washington's turning into it too. It's so dry, it's burning.
Yeah, Ethiopia just had some huge landslides that killed 229 people.
Yes.
In Ethiopia, and they're saying this is because of climate. It's all happening because of climate change. I think they had record-breaking temperatures in Gaza too, which is harder on those guys over there. I know in Pakistan and India they've been having record-breaking temperatures consistly.
And it's easy to ignore it, but now it's going to hit your pockets. Now something's going to happen to your house, and you're not going to have insurance to rebuild it. I'm just saying, people, you can only ignore climate change for so long, but now it's affecting you. And I always wanted to say some stuff like, hey, if you deny climate change, that's cool, but I think you should sign a form and have yourself registered. So when it gets so bad and we all got to go underground into the bunkers, you got to stay up top because you didn't want to act. You didn't believe in climate change. Dead ass, though.
No, I feel you on that.
That's real, though. Yeah, I mean,
you got to burn a little bit longer.
Yeah.
You got to let them burn a little bit longer. Don't get me wrong, man.
No, they got to die because you deal with what you denied.
But the fact of the matter is they're all like drill, baby, drill, and all this other dumb shit that they always say all the time. And when they know that this is real, it's just, you hear some people deny climate, just the earth just going through its cycle. No, man, we're speeding that process up. I know I was just talking to you off camera. There's a country, I'm not absolutely sure which country it is. They went and they planted like over 880,000 trees and like 5.2 million plants in their country, and their temperature dropped by like 2 degrees Celsius or something like that, like a major drop in their temperature. Just cooled it down where they were because they planted plants and they, kind of shielding things. We live in concrete, what they want to call concrete jungles around here, and so the concrete is just beaming the sun right back up on top of us. We're going through a little bit. We're going through a huge climate crisis everywhere. I mean, you're having floods in places like in Saudi Arabia and Qatar.
California's flooding. I think it was St. Louis. I got to look it back up. I didn't have it pulled up. But there was a whole city. It's been flooding for like New Mexico. New Mexico's been flooding for like weeks now. And like I'm telling people, you're not going to get it until you look at people in Florida and they're not insuring them anymore. They're not insuring people in California. These places are becoming natural disaster areas.
Yep.
They're not going to be livable in a couple years. But you're ignoring it,
and we're not taking it. We're not taking it serious enough, man. Yeah. We got to really get on top of that. I love the fact that we talk about it a lot, though. Yeah. We do bring it up all the time, but I don't feel like we're doing enough as a country. I feel like there's some states that are trying to do more, but everyone has to kind of get on and do it together in order for this to work.
And the last thing I want to bring up before we go, a Missouri prison ignores court order to free wrongfully convicted inmate for second time in weeks.
Wow.
For the second time in weeks, a Missouri prison has ignored a court order to release an inmate whose murder conviction was overturned. Just as in the case of Sandra Heem, actions by the state's attorney general are keeping Christopher Dunn locked up. St. Louis Circuit Judge Jason Shangheiser, on Monday tossed out Dunn's conviction for a 1990 killing. Dunn is 52. He spent 33 years behind bars. He remained Tuesday at the state prison in Licking. The state of Missouri shall immediately discharge Christopher Dunn from its custody, Shangheiser's ruling stated. Dunn wasn't released after his conviction was overturned because Republican Attorney General Andrew Bailey appealed the judge's ruling. And we're waiting for the outcome of the legal action, Missouri Department of Corrections spokeswoman Karen Paulgman said in an email Tuesday. Imagine you spent 33 years in jail wrongfully convicted.
And you still can't get out.
Still can't get out the second time because somebody doesn't. That's what I don't like about the court system. You're supposed to go into court and admit, hey, I did wrongdoing and take responsibilities for your actions, right? But when the court messes up or does something wrong, they don't want to do that. Absolutely. I had one time I went to court and, or I went to go get a job and the place was like, oh, we're going to hire you. Oh, no, now we can't hire you because you have a warrant for your arrest, right? I go to the courthouse, I clear up my warrant, and I'm like, what address do you have on? The address was wrong. I was like, that's not my address. You guys been sending mail to this address the whole time. They're like, well, the letter never came back, so we just acted like you got it. Instead of just being like, oh, our bad.
Wow, man. I mean, his case is like egregious on all levels, man. This person has spent 33 years in prison over something that everyone, from the prosecutor to his defense attorney to a judge, the judge who's presiding over the case has said, let him go. He didn't do it.
It was Samuel Little.
You get what I'm saying? Like, they're telling y'all this, and you want to, for what reason do you have? He should be able to sue. He's going to be able to sue for all the time he had to do already, but he should be able to sue that much more for the time that you're keeping him above and beyond. He should be able to get, a certain amount of money per day, like a ridiculous for every day that you're keeping him above and beyond when everyone else is saying, free this man, period.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of people. I always bring up this one serial killer. His name's Samuel Little, right?
Okay.
Black dude or whatever. But he killed 93 people, right? He lived from 1940 till 2020, right? But think about how many black people are locked up in jail because they fit the description of Samuel Little.
Samuel Little, he just had everybody
Samuel Little
up.
killed. He's like, he confessed to killing 93 people, and they was just like, okay. They don't even want to go through it. Think about people are sitting in jail because this man killed so many people, and they're like, "Well, you're good enough. You fit the description."
Fit the description, man.
Yeah.
It was him who did it.
It was Samuel Little. Y'all look him up. You probably never heard of him. Serial killer. We're gonna catch y'all next time. Uncommon Courtesy.